We are kicking off 2026 with analog and digital mixing night. Tonight, Ken mixes Revolution by artist Cascade, a pop record for Ken's sync agency Magnetic Music. Ken debuts the latest delay plugin from Mixing Night Audio, Cascade. Indie artist Coburn stops by later to promote her new single, Man-Made Enemies, produced by Ken. Marcus Manderson brings you the best free plugins for 2026. NAMM is coming up. Find out what Mixing Night Audio will be doing and connect with Ken at the show. Tonight we are giving away 4 of Ken's favorite plugins from Swivel Audio by DJ Swivel. You can also win 1 year of Session Studio. Enter in the description. You must be live to enter, but not to win. Tap in a friend, fire up the studio. It's Mixing Night. Welcome to Mixing Night. I'm your host, Ken Lewis, here with my security detail, Mazakeen Lewis. Happy New Year, Mixing Night community. You guys are truly the greatest, and we are so lucky to have you. You are also our greatest ambassadors, and if you could just tell one person about Mixing Night who might love it and connect with it, I would really appreciate that. Tonight is analog and digital full mix night. Faders down to a finished mix bus. I'm using a bunch of my analog gear and my DAW thanks to my Wolf Pro patch, that little orange beast over there. I'll be showing you my analog tricks. I'm also showing you our new delay from Mixing Night Audio called Cascade. We are taking pre-orders tonight. When you hear and see this thing, your wallet is just gonna fly right open, and I'm gonna just love that. It's honestly, it's a beast. Just wait. I am mixing a killer song tonight called Revolution by Cascade. She is an artist signed to my sync agency, Magnetic Music. Yes, I have a sync agency. And she was here recently doing her project with me. Her voice is just beyond next level, and the song is pure sync gold. Again, that's called Revolution. I'll be mixing that all throughout the night. Feel free to ask me, fire away with your questions from the chat roll. Ask me about mixing or music in sync or whatever you think I can help you with. Level up your game. Jump on the chat roll and ask. I have people feeding me questions from the chat roll to my little tablet right here in front of me. Oh, we're super mid-tech. And you students out there, please tell your classmates about Mixing Night. You know, if they don't know, they don't know. Mixing Night community, I would personally love to hear your New Year's resolutions. And if you feel like dropping some in the comments, I will read some of them live at the end of the show and see what's on your minds for this year and what kind of goals you guys are trying to accomplish, and then maybe I'll tell you some of mine a little bit later as well. I definitely have some big goals and dreams for 2026. I think 2025 finished really strong for me. I was very happy with it. Let's see, what else is happening tonight? Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, brings you the best free plugins for 2026. Yeah, that's Marcus. Indie artist Coburn drops in to announce her new single, Man-Made Enemies, which I co-produced, and we have seven giveaways tonight. We're giving away 1 year of Session Studio Live, which is, Session Studio is basically the production software that I use to kind of keep my productions organized and my songwriting organized. And then my good friend DJ Swivel, who owns Swivel Audio, who just partnered with Plugin Alliance, just sent me 6 licenses for you guys, and he's like, hey, just give them one of everything that we got tonight. Just give them away tonight. So thank you, DJ Swivel. You are a king among men. We are going to be giving away one thing every 15 minutes. So on every 15 minutes, the guys down in the control room are going to be spinning the wheel and giving something away, and hopefully a bunch of you guys will end the night with some cool new plugins and software. You don't have to be live to win, but you need to be live to enter. Entry link is in the description of the video you are watching right now, so go enter, but don't leave us. Come right back, and we have a barn burner of a show If I can find it, I plan to sprint the Madonna Holiday song, but I haven't found it yet. It's it's been a day. I've really just had like one of the best Christmases and New Year's that I have ever had, and it was just really special this year. I didn't want it to stop, so I decided if I can find the files fast enough to sprint Madonna's Holiday. Some little birdie gave me the, ooh, here we go, Holiday Jedi, that's what I need. Sorry, I'm multitasking here right now. Some little birdie gave me the original multi-track stems to Madonna Holiday, and so I'm going to sprint them for you tonight. It's a really fun song. If you guys don't know this song, you know this song. You just didn't know it was Madonna, and you just wait. So let's see, what else is going on? I hear there's potential rumor of a sprint mixing league. What? A sprint mixing league? What? That could be interesting. I've heard rumor. We'll see if anything materializes of it. I can't wait to show you guys Cascade tonight. It is so awesome. So anyway, let's see. Is Madonna copied over yet? No. Sorry, I got like 30 seconds. Damn, let me see the damn chat roll. I'm sorry, I didn't even notice you guys. You know, I'm blind without my glasses. Astra Queen, Ken W82, Eric Iverson, Mixing, Lon Freeze, music by Ian Limited, Danny Mall Sound, Big Daddy Decibel, I know who that is. Who else we got? Matt Thrasher, great to see you, Matt. Seamus Cranley, what's up, Seamus? Robert Story, who else we got here? Mixing Night's posting. Hey, Mixing Night. Mr. Mike Ish. Oh my goodness, Mazzy is making herself known right now. This is Torch. What's up, Torch? Zaza One. What's up, Zaza? I got this new. It's working pretty well so far. I'm wondering how long it's gonna last. If you can see that, it's like this ball, and it sits in a bowl, and it like spins, and I put like kind of diluted gravy in it. And I thought it would be not as loud as Mazzy gnawing on one of those big bones that we get her for each time, but no, it's pretty much the same volume. So it is what it is. I better get to this frickin' sprint. Sorry, folks. All right. All right, who else? Bobby Mac, or that's not Bobby Mac, that's B-Boy Mac. That's a difference. B-Boy Mac, who else we got? Big Daddy Decibel is Eric Chansey. Eric just finished alpha testing for us for Cascade. We're going into beta testing tomorrow. We are super excited. We're trying to get Cascade out for NAMM. If you did not know, I am doing a very informal meet and greet meetup at NAMM. Not at NAMM, at Dave & Buster's on Thursday, January 22nd, 6 to 8 p.m. I plan on being at Dave & Buster's playing games. Anybody else who might happen to want to go to Dave & Buster's in Anaheim from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, the 22nd, and also play games, we could hang out and do that all together. What is your... You don't like your thing? No? No? Are you done with it already? Wow, that was fast. All right, I might have to let her out in a second. Let's see if she calms down. All right, no. Come on. Come on. Come on. Jesus. Dragging on the show time already. All right, 10 minutes on the clock. Madonna. Holiday, you know it. Happy New Year. It's really great to see everybody. Welcome back. Get this out of my way. Seriously? My controllers are not working. Well, it is what it is. I think I'm gonna skip the sprint tonight, and I think I'm gonna skip the sprint tonight and go straight into mixing. This just, I was not prepared for it, and my controllers shut down. These, these SSLs work sometimes, and sometimes they just decide that they're not going to work at all. And today, they've decided they're not going to work at all. So what can you do? All right, I'm going to skip this and go straight to mixing. If you got questions, fire away. Let's see which, there you guys are. Eraser5 is up on the chat. Mixed by .Rob is up on the chat. Kev J Music is up on the chat. Okay, we got some folks. This is Oxen. This is Oxen. I think that's a new name. I haven't seen that. Double Deox. I know who that is. Man, great to see everybody tonight. I'm going to fire up Revolution. You guys must hear this song. So Revolution is a song that I originally co-wrote. No, not that. That I originally co-wrote with Brent Colatalo and Kate Ellsworth like a decade ago. And I had been to Madrid, Spain with my wife, and we almost got caught up in a riot at midnight in this like town square. We were having dinner, and there was this big protest, like 10,000 strong down the block, and we saw it. We could tell it was coming up the block, and we were trying to get our check and get out of there, and before we could get our check, the rioters started coming into the square. It was a really big square, so they were still maybe 60 yards away, but, So we got our check, and we exited the other side of the square, and but that really sparked in me, like, the understanding that Europe was really fucked up at the time, and I came back and wrote this song, Revolution. It's super political. I'll show you the original lyric at first. But I ended up never placing it. It was one of my favorite songs I ever wrote. This is very normal for songwriters. Came this close to placing it with great artists many times. Never came together. And then I started a sync company. And this is absolute sync gold. And I played it for my head of licensing at Magnetic, James Panapinto, and he was like, look, this is fantastic, but the political lyrics are going to make it unsyncable. I'm not telling you to change it, but if you want a shot at syncing this record, and I think you'd make a lot of money with it, then here's some ideas on how you might redirect the lyric. So I just rewrote the lyric to be more sync friendly, and I still love it. You'll hear that tonight. I'm going to play you like just through the end of the first chorus so you get an idea of what we're going to mix tonight, because this is already finished and we're pitching it for sync already.
We all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Silence, broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass electrifying. In this moment, everything, every place. Revolution, revolution. Let's go, let's go. Show your colors and cheer your people.
That's the first minute. So you see, I like to pack a lot into a short amount of space. So that's the rewrite of Revolution, and I hope you like it. I hope the music supervisors like it even more. That's the key. Rory Miller is on. Hey, Rory Miller, what's going on, brother? I am looking forward to seeing Rory and a bunch of my friends at NAMM. I am going to be at the Metric Halo booth. The Make Believe guys, Rick Carson and Ryan Harvey, very graciously invited me to hang out with them at their booths at the Metric Halo Make Believe area and keep our mixing night audio plugins on all 5 stations in that area, and we are free to show you guys our new stuff. You can check out Cascade if you're at the show. So huge shout outs to Rick Carson and Ryan Harvey. They are kings among men. Really appreciate those guys, and it's going to be such a blast to hang out with them at NAMM. And you know, just yeah, I'm super looking forward to it. So all right, so that's Revolution. The original was all about like protests and you know, kind of being in the thick of riots, which we were. It's crazy. Okay, so when I mix, I like to start faders down, and I like to turn the volume up really loud. And I also make certain that I have no automation running. That is crucial. And basically, you do that by just pulling everything down and seeing if anything snaps up during your mix. And because you don't want your monitor volume to be super loud and then something automate snap up, because it's going to be crushing loud through your speakers. But here's the reason I start with my volume way up, is because when I start pushing up my faders, they end up being at like -20 and -30 instead of like -5 and -7. And it's just dawning on me right now that I can't do that right now, or you guys would not hear my work. Crap. I'm going to turn up the mix bus +12 so that... Well, now see, there's automation on the mix bus. Saw that snap. There we go. Boom. Okay. I'm going to turn up the mix bus to +12 just to start. The only reason being so that you guys can hear it better. That's it. So, and if the volume is sounding wonky at home, let me know on the chat roll and I'll try and do better. Speaking of the Dave & Buster's event, I have been getting weirdly good at Sega All-Stars basketball, like arcade shooter. You know, like this 6-foot basketball shooter, like weirdly good. So anybody who wants to test me at Dave & Buster's in Anaheim, let's go. I'm back. No, seriously, I would love to throw down. Yeah, I've found I can't. I'm weirdly good at from 6 feet. I am complete trash on a regular court. You would not pick me for your team in a million years. But from 6 feet, man, it's like I can't miss. All right, on with the show. I'm going to start mixing. I'm going to start by just starting to put the drums together, and I don't have my controllers active right now. The fucking SSLs are deader than a doornail. So I'm going to have to do this with a mouse, and I tend to mix very quickly, and I tend to get chunks of the mix in and balanced very fast so that I can evaluate further and listen to everything against everything else. That's why it's called mixing. Here we go. just as a production trick, this low, let's go, that's only a formant shift of all of the tracks that combined to make up the let's go. So I took a formant shift down an octave and I pitched it down an octave. And then I did that for every track, and then I took that stereo group and counterpanned it against the main stereo group at the normal pitch, and then I would work it up underneath to just fatten up the size of the let's go. So check it out with and without that, what it does. Let me find let's go. Boom, boom, boom.
Let's go!
Let's go, let's go!
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
I think the front cam went out for a moment. We're on side camera getting some side eye. How's the mix sounding to you guys so far? Who do we got? Ben Ellery has shown up. Hey, Ben, good to see you. Ains Boogie, good to see you, Ains. Who else we got? Kev J, Ken W, music by Ian. Who else is active right now? Rick to Scale, Big Daddy Decibel, Lon Freeze. Man, you guys are popping right now. Mr. Mike, Danny Mall Sound. Oh, there's Mazzy's back for round 2. Catfish. Oh, thank you. I have my agenda. I'm going to take a few questions while I am almost fully put together with the mix. Stephen Ramos asks, hey Ken, what are your goals in terms of mixing for 2026, and are there areas that you want to focus on, such as low end or something like that? You know, the things that I try and focus on when I mix is feel, and the sonics can, mastery of sonics can help you get the feel that you're looking for. But I have a fairly good mastery of sonics. And, you know, enough that I don't really think of the tools anymore when I'm using them. I just think of the music and what I want the music to sound like. And when I work, and I encourage you to do this, which is why I'm telling you, before you grab that plugin, ask yourself, what does this sound like and what do I want it to sound like? Is this the right plugin to get me there? What am I trying to do with this? And, you know, like for me, if I'm grabbing a plugin, I usually have a pretty good idea of at least the things I'm going to search for, or how I'm going to dial in that sound, or how I'm going to change that sound. And I think a lot of people just grab plugins just to grab plugins. And I've seen it so many times. You're like, well, shouldn't I just do a plugin? No, you shouldn't. Leave your mix alone. If you notice how I mix, balances are everything to start. You've got to, you know, just like construction team, you've got to build your foundation, and your foundation is really strong balances between all of your different tracks. It's not going to sound like a mix. It's going to sound like kind of a shitty rough mix that feels good. And you're looking for feel. You're looking to strike those balances that feel good, that feel like you want the song to make you feel. And then once all of those balances are in place, then I might have done a little bit of processing before then, but then I'm going to start doing a lot more processing and a lot more fine tuning. You know, the roughing out is really fast and dirty. And then I kind of slow my pace down, and I might take an hour to get 100 tracks or 150 tracks in a mix, but I'll take the next 5 or 6 hours to take those 100 tracks to a finish line. So, you know. Let's see. Who else? If anybody else has questions, fire away. Oh, okay, interesting. Built by Bill 72. Good to see you. Adrian Remedy. I don't know if I recognized you. Mixed by Wave. Good to see you. Derry Shepard. Kyle Wolf. Kyle Wolf is a beast. I just connected. Kyle is one of our magnetic artists. Super talented, and I just connected him with another newly signed magnetic artist that I'm super thrilled about. And the new guy, I love Kyle's beats, wrote a killer song to it, and we got another one for the sync pitching. And then he turned right back around to me and he was like, yo, who did those beats? Send me more. I was like, done. And wouldn't you know it, this is like being a pro. I reached out to Kyle. I was like, yo, he loves your beats. Make some more for him. And I've gotten 1 or 2 a day since, specific. And I'm like, that's grind time. And you know, if you do 10 beats and one of them ever catches a sync, that sync is probably going to pay for those other 9. So, you know, sync can be very, very small, or sync can be super lucrative. There is a range. There is a huge range of what sync can be. And I've been all through the entire gamut of the range. Not the $500,000 shit, but I've had almost a quarter. So let's keep going. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing to this piano. So I thought the piano was just like a little bit dark and a little bit boring and a little bit blocky. So I just wanted to see if I could bring some excitement to it. So the reason that I grabbed the punch chain is because it's got a slow attack. So it kind of lets the initial transient through and then it grabs down. And what I want is I want to take kind of those weak hammer hits of the piano hammers and turn those a bit more percussive, and then really hold the mid-range of the piano in place. So I'm awakening it with our mid-band exciter presence. Levitate is a tilt, so I'm tilting the entire frequency range to be a little bit brighter and a little bit thinner before it even hits compression. And then I'm giving it a good smack of compression, and I'm adding some bright plate on before the compression. So the reverb tends to explode a little bit as the note lets up. I should really get the lead vocal in there for you. It's a great lead vocal. So if you notice, I split the lead vocal into no auto-tune and auto-tune and delay throws. So the delay throws, let's see, where are they? They're not, I'll make sure they don't feed the mix bus. Unless I just put Cascade on. Maybe I'll just put Cascade on here, and that will be my delay throw channel. So I'm setting up Cascade mono to stereo on this lead vocal delay throw channel. You see these. These are primed that I want certain words to go into delays. So I'm actually just splitting off those words onto their own track. And then I'm putting them through, I'm going to put it through 100% wet because I don't want to hear any of the dry. I just want this to be only a delay track. And I'm going to put it on ping pong, and I'm going to do quarter note ping pongs wide and see what that gives me. I'll do that in a bit. First, I'm going to mix this vocal. So because these two verse auto-tune and no auto-tune are basically the same part, I'm gonna bus these two to the same place. Mono aux input, so that I can just mix them in one channel instead of mixing one and then the other. And I'm gonna put the faders at 0, and I'm gonna make this my overall volume fader for it. I'm gonna put ALLCOMP across the aux mono to stereo. Now I put ALLCOMP across the aux mono to stereo so that I can get the stereo reverb of the Oxidate reverb engine. If you put it mono to mono, you just get a mono reverb on your vocal. But if you insert it across your channel mono to stereo, boom, your reverb is stereo. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, you'll love it. All 5 of these reverbs I've dialed in, they're my own reverb settings. Me and Dom handpicked them and dialed them into our tastes. So if you hate them, you hate my taste.
Silence, broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass electrifying.
Now do you hear she's a little bit heavy on the weight of the low end? I'm going to try levitating her in pre. Levitate is a tilt, so I'm just tilting her on the axis. I'm making the top end brighter and the low end a little bit lighter. I'll overemphasize it so you hear it.
Silence, broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze.
And this sets my center frequency. So it's probably around 700.
Silence, broken voices calling.
Do you hear how that opens up the entire top end before I grab an EQ or anything? And it also lightens up the low end so it doesn't drive the compression as hard. You want to go? You want to go, baby girl? Okay. We've loved having you on Mixing Night, sweetie. You're the star. She'll be back. She'll be back. Okay, so I'm levitating right to brighten, like kind of open up the top end of the voice. And then if I don't need it, but if I wanted even more brightness from it, I could awaken it with the air band. Listen to this.
Silence, broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass.
And the presence just kind of brings out like the enunciation frequencies if they're a little hard to understand.
Silence, broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass.
And the pro tip that I just got lately from our mixing night partner Dom Ravinius, great producer writer, it is that he loves mash on the lead vocals. So I'm going to try mash on the lead vocal. I use mash on the lead vocal a fair amount, but it has a sound to it. It's basically it's an end stage limiter, and it just kind of levels things out just a little bit more and gives you a little bit more control. Let's hear what mash sounds like. It also makes things a lot louder, so you tend to have to pull down the output.
Silence, broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze.
You ready for the before and after?
Treble and bass electrifying. In this moment, everything every place.
Crazy. ALLCOMP is the king. Oh. Let's see. I'm going to try routing this to that same aux and see how that sounds.
Revolution, revolution.
You see she's singing a lot louder there. You can see the waveforms here compared to the waveforms here. So the first thing I'm going to try and do is just turn her down 6 dB and see if I'm just pushing her lighter into the chain, if she sounds good on this chain, or if I need a new chain for her.
Revolution, revolution.
No, I don't like her on the same chain, so I'm just going to give her her own dedicated mix. I'm going to start with ALLCOMP on her own channel. I just felt like through the verse chain, she sounded a little bit too, I don't know, bright, aggressive. So I'm going to go to her source track for her lead vocal on the pre-chorus. ALLCOMP mono to stereo, so that I can get that stereo reverb engine happening with the oxidate reverb engine. And I'm just going to loop this section, and I'm going to try and balance her out and be, gentle with her, and let's find out. Hey, the first two giveaway winners are MBI and Lee Cole. Okay, congratulations. And I think we have another giveaway in like 5 minutes. So if you haven't registered for the giveaways, we have 7 giveaways tonight. DJ Swivel Audio is giving away 6 plugins tonight. I freaking love Swivel. He is the coolest dude. He makes great plugins. And we're giving away a year of Session Studio, which is my session organization software. So we still have a lot to give away. Go register. The link is in the description of the video you are watching right now. Go enter, come right back. Don't leave us. You don't have to be live to win. You have to be live to enter. So if you're catching the restream, snooze lose. Okay. Music by Ian. What's up? Who else we got? Wednesday. Hey, Wednesday. Warwick Cole. Hey, Warwick. Man, the chat roll's popping tonight. Ralph Moss. Joe Ears. Kyle. Oh, Kyle, I see you. All right. Everybody's popping. way that sounds. One pro tip on Oxidate. You will often see me switch this to pre. What this does is it combines the input, usually in this case a vocal, so it combines the raw vocal with the output of Oxidate. So the vocal goes to Oxidate first, and then the combination of the voice and Oxidate then hit the compression and limiting. And so what you have is when the vocalist or rapper is singing, the effects tend to get pulled back a little bit, and the artist is a little bit more out front. And then any time that they stop or pause, you'll see the compression and limiting let go, and it just throws that reverb out there, and it can be a really cool effect as long as it works with the song that you want it to work with. So check it out. Do you hear how it's really only super reverberant on shun? That's because the pre for Oxidate is holding that reverb back until the compression lets go, and then it's throwing that reverb out there. Listen one more time. I love that about that. Okay, what is next? What's my agenda? Oh, we got Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, coming up in a couple minutes. I'll tell you what, right before I go to Marcus Manderson, we will come back to this mix. I'm going to be evolving the mix throughout the night. Feel free to get your questions ready for me. Anything that you want to know about mixing or life or sync or, UFC, you ask away. All right, Marcus Manderson in a moment. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and they're about to do a giveaway, so I'll announce that. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to unwrap this. Richard Furch is a brilliant LA mix engineer. And a good friend of mine. We go way back to like New York days. And Richard sent me this. I don't know what it is. I hope it's really cool, and I hope you guys want to see it, and I hope he doesn't mind me showing it off, whatever it is. I think it's like a coffee table book or something like that. So thank you, Richard. Let's find out. Oh, that's interesting. This is Mix Tip Wednesday by Richard Furch. Mix Tip Wednesday. This is really cool, Richard. There's the man himself. Sexy motherfucker. He says, I better read that during Marcus and see if it's suitable for broadcast. But he wrote me a great note. Thank you, Richard. This is super cool. Wow. So Richard is credited up. I mean, dude's experience is extensive. So check out Mix Tip Wednesday. Hashtag Mix Tip Wednesday by Richard Furch. I tend to believe this is going to be quite a great resource for everybody. Thank you, Richard. That's really freaking cool. Let us go to Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery. Then I'll be back with some more Q&A, so get your questions ready, and we'll be back mixing Revolution again soon. Here's Marcus Manderson.
What's good, Mixing Night family? This is Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, back with another Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment, and Happy New Year. In this Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment, we're going to talk about some more free plugins, some networking things, and a little bit more to get you started in the new year. First, let's start off with the usual suspects officially releasing the JE8086, a free Roland JP8080 emulation. Definitely check that out. We will include links also in the article at the end of this segment. There are also 15 free music production plugins from our friends over at the Bedroom Producer blog. Next, we have a free generative MIDI delay plugin plugin from our friends over at Soft Loop Audio. This is called Harmonic Echo. You can go here, you can type in 0, and you can download this for free. Then we also have a free string library from Crow Hill Company. If you go to the Crow Hill Company site and you use this code CROWMAX25 or CROWMAX25 Fix that is working currently at the time of this recording, you can get pocket strings for free. Even if it is not for free when you use the code, it is only £10, so a great way to get some really great string sounds for your productions. Now, some free things. Check out pianobook.co.uk. We've shared this in the past, but a great way to start the year is to check out this site. If you're ever looking for any sound, piano, strings, choirs, winds, guitars, drums, organs, pads, all the above, go to pianobook.co.uk, and these are all 100% free. Did someone say free? Next, let's talk about some educational stuff to kick off the year. Mastering the Mix has offered EQ Academy for free currently, where there's interactive ways to learn about EQ. They also are offering advanced mastering course. Then we also have How Pros Make Hits, ebook that you can download and read. Next, I saw this article on Young Guru's Instagram. Shout out to Young Guru. Vocademy.net is offering a free online school. So what that means is you can go here and you can learn about electronics, circuitry. They will soon be having information technology classes and some fiber optics classes and some general education. So that's a great way to learn about electronics if you're trying to go down that lane. Next, let's talk about NAMM. I'll be doing 3 panels for NAMM, starting with Behind the Music of Bel Air. This will feature the composers, the theme songwriter, and the director. Just announcing this, the director of Bel Air will be on my panel starting at 10 a.m. January 22nd. Be sure to get your ticket. I have a 50% off code you can use. I will share that shortly. Then after that, right after that, I'm going to be doing a music supervisor panel with a music supervisor from Riot Games, a music supervisor from one of the biggest trailer companies in the world, a music supervisor from Marvel, and also a music supervisor from Cozy Music, and the founder of Cozy Music Publishing. So definitely check this out, 11 a.m. January 22nd. And then on the next day at 10:30 a.m., Brianna Shelko will join me on stage, and we will be doing a presentation connecting students to real-world music career pathways. So definitely check out all those. If you are going to NAMM, use code NS26Parlor50 for 50% off your ticket and show up and be at those panels. Next, all the resources I shared are in this plugin list, including the ones from this segment and some ones from the last previous months. So definitely check that out. I will share a link, or just DM me if you want a link for that. And last but not least, I am nominated in 10 categories for the Wammys, which is the DC version of the Grammy Awards. I have my Hebrew hip hop album, my trailerized hip hop album, my gospel album, my neoclassical hip hop album, my go-go album, which I just did, a Spanish album, and a country project, all up for nominations in various categories, including best album and best songs in those respective categories. Please do support. I will include a link also in that article where you can support and vote for me for free in those categories. I appreciate your support. Let's make 2026 a great year. This is Marcus Manderson with another Mixing Night Man Mystery moment. Be safe and be well, everyone. All right. Peace.
We are back, baby. Thank you very much, Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery. You are the best. I can't wait to see you out at NAMM. That's going to be a great hang. Sorry, I'm trying to get this name right. Adashimarty asks, "Hey Ken, so what about bass and kick sidechain? Is it a must always, or what's the deal?" No, it's definitely not a must always. I barely ever do it. Usually, the only thing that I will do for a bass kick sidechain is the Alex Toomey trick, which, thank you, Alex, which is, let me just take the sub bass and put it up next to the kicks. So I am gonna put Soothe 2 on this sub bass, and I'm gonna sidechain the kick to Soothe 2. I will show you all of this step by step. All right. So, which kick is always playing? Looks like this kick is always playing. So, I'm going to use this kick. Actually, here's what I got to do. I got to make all of the kicks trigger it, because otherwise, it's only reacting to part of the frequency range that I need carved out with the kicks. So I'm going to combine all of these kicks to a stereo aux so I can control one fader. If you see, I've used Auto Align 2 to align all of the kick drums. What a huge difference it makes. If you have a bunch of like one-shot kicks all hitting together or a bunch of times together at this in your song, you really owe it to yourself to auto-align them and time and phase correct them. Your kicks will thump so much harder. Oh, it's, man. Before you ever touch an equalizer, I feel like Auto Align 2 is your best friend for especially live drum kits with multiple microphones and layered one-shots. Yep, there you go. So, okay, so all my kicks are here. So I'm going to go bus 21, and I'm going to go pre-fader, so it doesn't really matter what is sent to it. And then I'm going to pick up bus 21 on the sub-bass Soothe 2. Key input, bus 21, key input. So bus 21, key input. Then I'm going to activate the side chain. That tells me that what I am feeding into the key input is actually what Soothe will react to, not the audio passing through Soothe. It will react to the sidechain audio, and it will use those reactions to affect the stuff going through it. So, and I also almost always go 4 times and ultra. It definitely makes a sonic difference. So every time the kick hits, it's gonna carve out a little bit of the low end. Here is the high-end filter. I usually set this so that the high-end filter isn't looking above like 500, but there is no low-end filter, and you'll see why in a second. So when it hits, you're just looking for it to get like an instant reduction. And then I usually go hard, attack fast, release fast. Let's see what we get.
In this moment, everything I replay.
So what you see is the Soothe 2 is on the sub bass, and the sub bass is getting little pieces carved out of it. Every time the kick drum hits, it tells Soothe 2, hey, these frequencies I need to dedicate to the kick drum. So why don't you duck these frequencies out for a few seconds and just let this kick drum hit really hard, and then you can have all those frequencies right back. Nobody's even gonna know. And that's basically how it works. And it happens so quickly if you have it set right that you can really carve a lot out of that sub bass and get that big kick hitting heavy. Because a lot of times, you know, bass drives RMS and LUFs. So if you have a big kick and a big sub bass or a big 808 and they're all hitting together, you know, your RMS is gonna get eaten up really fast. This is a way to get everything hitting a little bit harder. Great question. Kev J asks, hey Ken, when vocalists come to your studio to record, do they warm up beforehand or with you? I leave it to the vocalist to let them dictate their warm-up ritual. I'm not concerned with their warm-up ritual. Some vocalists don't warm up at all. Some just want to get behind the microphone and warm up that way. Some have like a 30-minute regimen to open themselves up. Everybody's different. But, you know, I also use things like Singer's Saving Grace. You can get this on Amazon, delivered tomorrow. Singer's Saving Grace. This stuff, you know, it's a little herbal. It's not the best tasting stuff in the world, but I don't mind it a bit. People get bent out of shape with this shit. I don't think it tastes bad at all. So, but the objective with Singer Saving Grace is you want to angle it towards the back of your throat, so it basically kind of coats your vocal cords. You want 2 squirts on your vocal cords, and just let it kind of sit there for a moment and kind of hug your vocal cords with the spray. And then I guarantee you your next 2 or 3 or 4 takes are going to be way stronger. There's something about this that just gives your vocals more stamina, more power, and kind of more staying power. So this is just like, oh. Let shit on it back. Don't swallow it. I mean, you can, but it's not going to kill you. But you want it to kind of coat the back of your throat. And then when you start singing, your voice is going to be much stronger. The other really cool vocal technique that I've seen is the straw technique. My friend Angelo Dodaro showed me that, and and he was using it a lot to great effect. I haven't seen too many singers using the straw technique yet, but basically it's a way to open up the power of your voice better. If you're interested in it, just Google it. You'll find it immediately. Okay. Wonk Jeezy asks, "Hey Ken, should you always oversample? I literally never oversample." It depends on the power of your system. I have a pretty workhorse of a system, so I can oversample a lot of stuff. I think the mix bus is important to oversample. Typically, I'm on the, that new Natural Audio A1 limiter, and I oversample the crap out of that, or like FabFilter Pro L2 at 32x. Things like Soothe on individual channels. If I'm not using too many of these, I'll 4x and Ultra every single one of them, but eventually that starts really clogging your system. So oversampling depends on, how much horsepower your system has. It definitely makes a difference. And it doesn't make a huge difference, but, a part of our job is very small incremental gains that when all add up to something greater. And if I know that by simply going 4x Ultra, my signal is going to be a little bit cleaner, and I'm certain of this without even listening because I have listened 20 times before A-Being and absolutely for a fact know that there's a sonic difference between those two. So, I kind of go with my gut in that way with oversampling. I used to not be a fan of it, but I'm a big fan of it now. Might as well keep firing. Yeah, I'll take some more questions. Why not? You guys are pretty awesome today. Ben Kruger asks, "Hey Ben." Ben Kruger asks, "Hey Ken, what do you choose or use pre or post fader metering?" I think I use pre-fader metering. I like pre-fader metering on my tracks, so that I know what the level of the signal is that was recorded. And the mix bus, I think they're post. I'm not really sure. I don't, the funny thing about me is I don't think about gear much. There was a time. Okay, there was a time. My first AES, I was like, what is that? I used to be blown away by gear. Now, gear doesn't really interest me much at all. And music interests me. And when I think about, what I'm gonna do and what tools I'm gonna use, I just ask myself, like, is this gonna help me make it more musical, or help me work faster? Which helps me be more creative and make more streamlined decisions, and or is it going to be like that's the thing. Like, does it make you creative? Does it make you happy? Does it save you time? Any of those things kind of have to tick the boxes. I don't know who just came in, but somebody just came in. All right, if you got more questions, fire away. Sam Heights, what's up, brother? It's so good to see Sam Heights. Man, me and Sam have had some times together. He's a good dude. Sam, I don't know if you're going to be out at NAMM, but if you want to go, I will see you out there. Let's see. Man, great chat roll tonight. I'm going to get back to mixing. If you got more questions, fire away. I did want to mention, I don't know if you all saw, but Lander bought Reason. Reason, the kind of the creative DAW. Lander, the online mastering company, just bought it. So they're going to merge those two technologies somehow, super interestingly. I actually think it's a smart, good pairing. And I did not know this. Lander also owns Synchro Arts, which is Vocal Line and that line of plugins. So, yeah, Lander's been making some big moves lately. It's really interesting. Good people over there as well. I actually really like the people that work at Lander. All right, back to mixing. Let's see where we're at here. Now that I have all of these kicks routed to an aux, I want to use my Lang EQ in the worst way. But I'm noticing I'm going to route all these kicks mono. Well, first I'm going to listen to them and see if I actually need any of them to be stereo. And then maybe I'll only put the Lang on certain kicks. Mono. Mono. Oh, mono. These can all be mono. So I'm going to redo my aux mono to mono simply so that I can use my Lang EQ. And you'll know when you hear it why, because shit thumps. And I'm just going to put it on Wolf 9. So I'm using the Wolf Pro patch, which is this thing. Here's the software for it. So this shit is just super easy. So I've already got all of my stuff pre-wired into the Pro patch. And now that it's into the Pro patch, here's all my stuff on the left. I can create any kind of a chain that I want to within the Wolf, and then set it on a specific insert. So for this one, let's see that you can see it. I'm going to use Wolf 9, which is the Lang PEQ2, which is kind of like a solid-state Pultec. If you aren't familiar with the Lang PEQ2, that thing is a beast. And a classic vintage. Wolf 9 on the kicks, which is IO Wolf 9. And then I should have... Oh, Maz, look out, babe. Lay down. Lay down. Come on, lay down. Good girl. Nope, that's not working. All right, I'm going to check that at the next break. Is it engaged in the wall? Yeah, no, it is. I don't know why that's not working. All right, I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll keep going. So I'm trying to get this Celesta to poke out a little bit more. Right now it's got this kind of like humming mid-range frequency to it that's just like, let me find it. Hang on. Oh, it's like right around 600 or 700. and it just kind of rings in there, and it's not, I mean, it's kind of musical, but it blurs things. And I really want the attack of that hammer to just poke out of the mix just for a second and just announce itself, like this note, that note, this note, that note. And when that kind of droniness of it kind of blurs everything together, it has less of a poking out prominent effect to me. Okay, chipping away. I got a great question on deck from Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike asks, "Hey Ken, any suggestions for making a new artist more comfortable in the studio? Someone who has never recorded in a studio before. Your info about recording vocals was enlightening." Well, thank you. I do have a vocal recording guide that's on the description of maybe 3 months ago. I would highly recommend that you download it. The vocal recording guide was super, super valuable. And it's kind of like a 20-step how-to for 3 different types of like recording, production, mixing. How do I make somebody the most comfortable? So I tend not to get like brand new artists, so I'm not really sure if this information equates to your dilemmas. But when an artist comes here, typically, especially newer singers tend to be very nervous and feel like they're very, very scared to be judged, especially by somebody of my caliber. And I work very, very hard to make them feel at home, make them feel like this is their home, that they are comfortable, that this is an absolutely safe space, that when they are done with this song in my studio, nobody will ever have heard any of the out of tune or off time vocals or wrong lyrics or fuck ups. The only thing anybody is ever going to hear is the one perfect vocal comp that I'm going to put together for you that is going to make you sound like you sung this song the one singular best time in your entire life, but it's probably going to be more like 15 or 20 takes. And you have to trust the process of being comfortable enough to make mistakes behind the microphone, knowing that you and me are the only people who are ever going to hear those mistakes, and those mistakes are never going to leave this room, and it is both of our mutual goal to make sure that you have the best vocal performance, the most inspired, the most connected vocal performance. Not the most in tune and in time. Often the most in tune and time vocal performance is very uninspired. And you know, if you're a vocalist and everything in your brain during your vocal takes is, oh, I've got to hit the notes, I've got to hit the rhythms, I've got to I've got to remember the words. You're doing it all wrong. What you want to be doing as an artist is coming in prepared enough that you know those lyrics. Like I have in this room, I put the lyrics on the projection wall right in front of the artist, so they don't have to hold their phone in front of them. And they have a safety net of having the lyrics in front of them. But typically, they usually know the song pretty well. And And it's always my goal to get the artist so comfortable with the idea of trying new things and so comfortable with the fact that there are no mistakes. There are only takes that are not going to make the final comp, and there are takes that are going to make the final comp. And a word from here and a line from there and 3 words from here and 2 lines from there, and you might puzzle a comp together out of 15 takes that looks like you cobbled it together out of a crazy amount of different emotions. But what you learn is you never know when that like lightning strike moment happens when you're behind the microphone. And I've comped so many vocals to know that the lightning strikes, the difference between them are so close. And the only way that you find the real lightning strikes is when the vocalist is just so comfortable and so open and so willing to make mistakes because they are absolutely losing themselves in the performance and going for it. That's tough to get a new singer there, but if you're working with somebody new and you know you're going to be working with them over and over, those are your goals. You're not going to solve the equations in one session. You're going to try and get them comfortable with you and trusting you in one session. And then you're going to work your damn ass off to never break that trust and to build that trust over time, and you will always be their vocal engineer. And I've been a lot of people's vocal engineers. I don't know if you guys know my history, but some of the people I have recorded and or produced vocally have been Ariana Grande, Mary J. Blige, Usher, Kanye, 50 Cent, Diana Ross, David Byrne. I know I'm forgetting just an absolute ton of incredible vocalists, but Beyonce, yeah, I've recorded a few absolute killers. And I'm always trying to get them so comfortable in their headphones that they just lose themselves in the performance. That it sounds like a record in their headphones. And we had a vocal night several months ago, and I went over all of this. And if this interests you, you should go watch it. The better your headphone mix, especially the way that I set it so that you can really go from a whisper to a scream and hear every detail, is a total game changer for your ability to express behind the microphone, for your ability to be whisper quiet and still be as loud as when you're singing normal volume. Or you can be belting and you're not blowing your hearing out. Your belting gets pulled back by the compression so that you can really work the entire range. That's how I do vocals. So I'm a vocal fiend. That's my favorite days on earth. This past year I had, I did the Coburn album. I produced all the vocals on the Coburn album, and absolutely in my zen producing Coburn. Incredible vocalist. And I also got the pleasure of producing a ton of songs with Anushka Sen this year, and what an incredible vocalist. Her ability to connect to a performance and emote is like some just next level shit. So Anushka is a big actress in India, and I think her ability to connect as an actress and know what the lens needs and to know how to convey emotion through body language and through tonality and things like that, she's been able to transfer that to her vocal performances behind the microphone with no visual aid. You can hear what she's feeling, and you can hear why we wrote the songs and what they mean to her. And that's something that's really, really hard to teach. So I'll go. Should I keep answering questions, or should I get back to mixing? You guys tell me. I'll answer one more. 1957 Mortone asks, "Hey Ken, let's say the snares are causing high peaks on the master, causing me not to be able to push it harder. How would you deal with this issue?" Well, I mean, you can only push things but so loud before they fight back. So if you want your snares that loud, the rest of the entire mix just needs to get a little bit quieter to compensate. Or you can do like a really fast attack release limiter, like I hate to say it, Waves L2 style limiter on it to really trim back the transient but keep the weight of the hit in the body of the drum without losing too much of the transient. Sometimes if you do that, you can get a lot more volume out of your overall mix by tamping down some of those transients, and then you can kind of push everything else up a little bit further. One more. Ben Kruger asks, "Hey Ken, what is your thinking on pushing artists to hit their absolute best or push them further than they think they can go without pushing too hard? Thanks." Well, Ben, artists don't end up getting produced by me unless they're willing to go through that process. And that's, everybody's different, and sometimes you're a hired gun and you've got certain parameters with which you need to work around. Sometimes you're working with an artist that you just know you're not going to be able to do certain things. They're a diva, or they're too green, or they're just not whatever, and you can't, and you have limitations cooked in. But basically, if you're an artist coming here, I'm going to push you in ways that you're going to love, absolutely love. When you hear your voice, it is going to captivate you. You're going to be like, how is that me? And I know this because I've heard so many artists say that to me after they've heard their vocal comp. So it's a neat little trick. But to me, it's all about, if I'm producing an artist, I am there to make them the best version of themselves that they can possibly be, to help them become that. I cannot make them that. Only they can make them that. If they don't have the drive, they have nothing. Talent is the buy-in, it is not the payoff. Everybody in the music business who has any sort of a career is crazy talented. It's the drive and the determination and the willingness to be told no and to be ignored and to be passed over again and again and again and again and again and again, and get up and keep going and make that next song and do that next gig and write that next thing until something breaks. And it's just not going to break for everybody. But a lot of people quit when they're on the 5-yard line. And you just don't know how close you are. And that's the problem. You just never know how close you are. So, take that for what it's worth for you. Okay, I'm going to get back to... What time is it? Where's my... Sorry, I need to see my agenda here. It is 9:20. Let's do Coburn. So, tonight, I was going to have Coburn, Aaron Coburn, do a live performance for you here of her new single, Man-Made Enemies, which just dropped January 5th, but she's a sickie. So she's at home blowing her nose, but she did a little thank you to the Mixing Night community, and I just wanted to play it for you guys real quick. And let's go.
Hello, Mixing Night friends. Pardon my voice, I'm a bit under the weather, but I wanted to say Man-Made Enemies is out now. I'm so excited.
We are man-made enemies, counterfeit conflicts. They're making man-made enemies. Will they ever quit?
I've really enjoyed sharing my journey with you, and a lot of you have really inspired me, so I'm just super excited to tell you that the next song is out. It's called Man-Made Enemies. It's out on all streaming services. Shout out to Ken Lewis, shout out to George Lever, shout out to James Sanger. Yeah, it's a banger and it's got a great message. So yeah, it's out now. Go listen.
All right, we are back. So I co-produced and co-wrote the Coburn album.
Can you talk a little closer to your mic?
Yes. So I co-wrote and co-produced the Coburn album, which we're putting out a single at a time. So the album is done, but we just released single 3. George Lever produced most of the music and mixed, along with James Sanger. Just the freaking dream team on this record. Jeesh. If you don't know George Lever, he produced the first 2 Sleep Token albums. I'm a big Sleep Token fan. I just wrote a song that was very inspired by Sleep Token. So thank you, Sleep Token, for the inspiration. Let's see, where are we at? Should I get back to mixing? I think I will. Who else is on the chat? If you got questions, fire away on the chat. I got people feeding them right to me on my tablet at Mix Left. And thank you for joining us for Mixing Night, kicking off 2026, right? You guys know we are in our 6th year of broadcast. We are in year 6. I don't know how the hell that happened, but you guys are just too cool of a frickin' community to give up. And boy, it's, it's a lot to put this show together. It's a lot of work, but you guys really make it worth it. And thank you very much for that. I think we have the most awesome community. I don't know if we have a banner for it or if they've been flashing it. Did I give you guys the scroll? Did you guys get the scroll?
We put one together.
For the rest of it, I'm going to text you my scroll. I put together a pretty fierce scroll. Sorry, no, hang on, folks. We have, the scroll that runs along the bottom. Should I just text it to you?
Sure.
I'll text it to fellas. Boom. Technology. My guys are really the best. I have a team that helps me put this show together. My guys and girl, Lori, do just an amazing job behind the scenes. And, so much work goes into trying to get this to seem like an effortless show. There's a lot of effort. But, big shout outs to Jonathan Garcia, Nolan Monagold, Phil Diox, JT is here helping tonight, and Dom is over in Germany helping out, Lori Lewis is here helping out, Mazzy is here helping out with security, and Annette Navarro helped out, Coburn helped out. There's just so many people in this village. Kyle Wolf, love me some Kyle Wolf, doing all of our video editing. If you guys need a video editor, Kyle Wolf is the truth. He is so good. Highly recommend. Let's see, where was I at? I think I'm going to get back to mixing now. Would that be wise, Ken? Yes, sure. Yeah, and I'm going to run, so in like 10 minutes I'm going to run the Anushka Sen interview, which I adore. Anushka just recently did an interview in Mumbai with Radio 1, and they gave me a really great setup and shout out. It was super cool. I got a kick out of it. Anyway, in a minute, now I'm going to see if I can take this all the way home. I think I just have the hook vocal. See if I can just put, no, not auto-tune, I want ALLCOMP. Where is my ALLCOMP? Let's just put a freshie on. No, it's down here. So you see on vocals, especially on shouty vocals, sometimes when you instantiate it, it's already grabbing too much. A lot of compressors do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is back off on the input. until I get less reduction, until it's kind of in a range of reduction that looks like maybe -4 to -8. And then what the dial does is the dial's a little bit of a threshold, but it's really more of a tone knob. Like it's got, your voice is going to sound great somewhere on that knob. So usually I just kind of give a listen through the whole throw of it and go like, okay, what do I want this to sound like? It's going to be more aggressive at the top of the throw, and it's going to be more gentle at the bottom of the throw. And then if it starts getting too loud, I can just back off the output. Typically when I mix like double, triple layers, I try and listen to each of them individually and then just, feel my way through it and figure out how much of the center presence I want and how much of the side energy I want. And I think that's song dependent. And you just have to kind of listen and ask yourself, like, what kind of energy works best with this song? So I'm going to do that for the next minute and see what I come up with. And here's what I often find. Without the left-right, the center sounds too low. And without the center, the left-right sound too low. But with all three of them together, if they're performed really well, the boost and presence of all three gives the listener plenty of volume on the part.
Let us raise up our hands and have some fun. And you.
That's only auto-tune and ALLCOMP. That's it. And ALLCOMP, vocals on ALLCOMP is my vocal chains. We modeled my vocal chains and we put it under the hood. And I kind of figured out a super clever way to kind of model different styles of vocal chain that I have depending on where you put the dial. And then the drop down, the LMAO, I don't know if anybody has ever picked up on that, but the drop down is an LMAO. Levitate, mash, awaken, oxidate, is just an incredible tone shaper. You can just get so much variation out of this. And then to boot, you have the cuts, filters. So you can pre or post on your filters. You got distortion. You got, this thing is a freaking beast. You can literally open any one of my sessions since we had an alpha of ALLCOMP, and you'll see it all over all of my sessions. I use the shit out of it. It is such a time saver and super, super musical. And I need to get Tom 3 into the mix.
Silence, broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass electrifying. In this moment everything I've replaced.
We're just doing a little technical behind the scenes stuff. Don't mind me. What up, Tony Richards? What up, Danny Onions? What up, the Perfumist Music? Well, Siren Audio, Beats with Kev, Duffingas. What's going on, Duffingas? Johnny Rayborn, bunch of new people on right now. Good to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Mixing Night. We're plowing through this mix. I'm about to start treating the mix bus, I think. Pretty darn soon here. Let's see what else I don't have in the mix. I'm just going to quick get everything else in the mix that I don't yet have, like this.
Calling, make a connection. We will never be the same, but will anything change? Suddenly to heed this calling, make a connection. Suddenly to heed this calling, make a connection.
All right, now I'm going to show you guys Cascade. Beast mode frickin' delay we have built ourselves. I am super, super proud of it. So here's the delay throw that I have set up. I have it 100% wet so that you're only hearing the output of the delay and not the dry. You see I've got a delay throw track set up where I have copied parts of the lead vocal over to down here, and they will feed into this delay, and you'll hear it right now.
Silence, broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Broken voices calling. Now we all broken voices calling. Now we all broken voices calling. We all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass electrifying. In this moment everything I replay. Broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Broken voices calling. We all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass electrifying. Broken voices calling.
All of that reverb is Cascade. So I'll just show you some of the functionality of this beautiful beast. Wash has 3 different types of reverb. So you can pick just how much reverb you want to add into the signal and kind of set the depth level. Heat is like a saturator into distortion. You've heard our saturators. Chorus just takes whatever you're feeding into it and spreads it out a little bit into a lot, depending on where the chorus is. Same with width. And we have all of these different like filter styles built in. And they all sound kind of different, and the descriptors basically describe them, so I'll let you hear a couple of them.
Broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass electrifying. Broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass electrifying.
Woo-wee. Cascade can get a little squirrely. There we go. Man, this thing is just... So when we set out to build Cascade, you know, Dom tells me, he's like, I want to build a delay next. And I'm like, who needs a delay? And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this idea seriously. So I went and I looked at, I swear to God, like 40 different delay GUIs. You know, the interfaces. and I just wanted to see, like, okay, who has built the interface of my dreams? Who has made such a perfect interface for my brain that I don't have to think when I use this thing? I can get it to do super musical things super easily. It's going to sound incredible, and I'm not going to have to think about it. And not a single one of them ticked off all my boxes. And I was like, okay, Dom, you're right. There is a big gap in the marketplace for a, all-encompassing, very easy to use, killer delay. So what we've built is, in my opinion, the easiest delay to use on planet Earth for delay for dummies. If you don't know how to mix, you don't know how to use delays, this one is super simple to solve. And if you're like me and Dom and you're like super high horsepower, creatives, then this is going to tick all of your boxes. Oh, check out my favorite thing. This is mind-blowing. Formant. What? Yes, Formant.
Silence, broken voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Silence, broken voices calling. Silence, broken voices calling.
It's not super prominent on that because it's kind of a background thing, but the Formant is like, it's basically, if you've used like Little Altar Boy or Vocal Bender or something like that, it's basically like that. But we're treating the incoming signal, so we're formatting it down before it hits all of the delays. So when it hits the delays, it's into pitch shifted, not pitch shifted, formant shifted already. It sounds super dope. Yeah, I really love this thing. I am going to go to the Anushka Sen segment. Don't show the screen just yet. So I just wrote and produced a song with Anushka called Chameleon. You can check it out on YouTube. Anushka co-produced and co-directed the video, music video for it, and smashed it. It just looks incredible.
The guy, Anushka's work.
Oop, I love this guy. And we put it out like about a month ago, and now she's been doing kind of the interview circuit in India about it. So she sat down at Radio 1 with Rishi K, and Rishi K gave me the greatest shout out of all time. I just had to play it. So Rishi K at Radio 1, thank you very much for shouting me out. But most importantly, thank you so much for supporting Anushka Sen Chameleon. That really means the world to us to get early support from especially the Mumbai DJs. We have so many songs coming your way this year, and man, we're super excited about where Anushka is going. So without further ado, here is Rishi K.
The guy Anushka's worked with is the big daddy of music producers in the West. He's worked with Taylor Swift, he's worked with Beyonce, he's worked with Kendrick Lamar. Actually, he has over 70 songs in the Billboard Hot 100, 70 songs. I think 79 at last count, which I think is a tremendous track record. And then, of course, 2 Grammys. Now tell me how that happened. How did you come across Ken? Did you send him a song? Did you meet him somewhere? And how did that working relationship develop?
It feels like a movie when I say it out loud. I'll tell you what happened is last year for COP28, I was representing India, and I just made it a thing that I want to be able to represent India. Even if I can contribute 10% into doing something for my country, I would love to do it through any way, like acting or even just making a small bite or supporting UN or UNICEF for that matter. I just wanted to do it. And I got this beautiful opportunity to sing in Hindi with 15 other artists from all over the world. They were from Dubai and Philippines and Korea and China, so different countries, and everybody was a musician or an actor, and we just all came together for this one song. There I met this African American person called A.Y. Young, and he said that, wow, you're doing this little feature for this big song, why don't we do something together? And we became friends, and we were just getting to know each other, and we were speaking about how we both care about music for impact, and that's what we were trying to trying to do, that what can we do together that can create awareness about climate change and sustainable development goals. And through him I met Ken Lewis, because he was the one who produced that song as well. And Ken was like, if you're doing features for these songs, why don't you do your own thing and I can help you. And he's such a legend to be able to work with somebody like that. And he's someone who's like, I have this experience, let me just, share that with you, and you can maybe create something of your own. And that's such an honor.
94.3 Radio 1.
Ken Lewis.
Hey, that was really, really cool. Thank you, Rishi K. Sorry, I'm eating chocolate. And again, Rishi K, thank you so much for Spinning Chameleon by Anushka Sen. Man, we super appreciate that. I'm going to have Jonathan Garcia sit here and pretend to be me for like 30 seconds. You didn't see me leave.
Hey, mixing night. All right, let's get this. Woo! All right.
Voice is calling. Voice is calling. Voice is calling. Voice is calling.
Bad when it's working.
The Apollo's not connecting. Gotcha. Okie dokie. One moment.
Is it that thing pulled out?
Yeah.
Oh, darn it. My Apollo interface is the culprit right now, unfortunately. God bless it. That Apollo is like well over a decade old and is still rock starring its way in my studio. But one of the jacks is a little funky on the back of it finally, so that'll be an easy repair.
Yes.
It is about time for a giveaway.
Oh, let's get him. Let's see. I'm gonna look through the questions that I've got while Jonathan is trying to solve this and see what I'm gonna answer. Ghost of Nostra asks, "Hey Ken, did you ever explain the VU meters on ALLCOMP? The right one is gain reduction. The left one is input. So you basically want to adjust your input until you're getting the range of gain reduction that you want, and then you kind of turn the dial, and it's kind of a balance and a dance between the dial and the input. And then the output is just, compensation for it getting a little bit louder or softer, and, where you want it to sit in the mix. So I think that explains your question. The Perfumist Music asks, "Hey Ken, how far do you take micro adjustment, post mixing, small pan automations?" Here we go. Okay. The Perfumist Music asks, "Hey Ken, how far do you take micro adjustment, post mixing, small pan automation, sends, micro reverb, subtle distortion rides, vocal rides, tiny effects, tiny things that all add up?" Typically I don't take them very seriously. Sometimes I'll spend a whole bunch of time on a whole bunch of minutia, but I find that when I was a younger mixer, I was much more focused on tricks and, outcooling myself. And as I have seasoned, I have let the song tell me what to do. And sometimes I'll spend time trying different effects and whatnot, and see if things work. But those are usually effects that they aren't micro. They're like momentary, but they're very audible. And I really love creating moments that are very like short and exciting and punchy, and then you're right back into your normal program, but everything changed for like, a second or a half a second. So I think, it depends on what you're trying to create, and everybody has their own style. Like if that style works for you and you love your results, amen, that's freaking great. I would never tell you to not do something that you really connect with and that you feel like, yes, this is my method. I feel like I get the results that I want when I do these things. Man, it took me a long time to get super comfortable with my, not second guessing myself and not being, uh, uh, what's the imposter syndrome, and things like that. And you know, I'm past that now. You will eventually get past that too. DeFingers asks, oh, okay. DeFingers asks, hey Ken, do you watch Stranger Things? If so, no spoilers, but thoughts on the final season and the legendary music they cleared for it. Boy, I really liked the final season. I didn't think it was like
Final season almost kicks as much
fantastic.
as it's lang.
I am. Oh, awesome! I'm back, baby. Let me know when the front camera's working. But okay, I'm gonna move to the front camera. But I tell you, Stranger Things definitely paid a ton in synchronization fees, sync licensing for a lot of that music. And I mean, to hear like Kate Bush come back again, God, those licenses were gigantic. Unless, it's possible that they secured like a blanket rate for X amount of seasons. And they knew if they re-up for another season, they would pay her X amount more. But if they didn't have that locked in before the last season and she could just negotiate whatever, whew, oh, God. But yeah, there were some, I feel like there were probably some like minimum $500,000 license fees going on in some of those shows. Some of the usages were just so prominent and so like visceral. But that's the thing about sync. Sync is a range from $0 to like the reality shows typically pay like $1,000 to sometimes a little bit more if it's a little bit more watched. And it it goes up to TV can be 5, 10, 20 grand. Sometimes it can be a lot better depending on what usage you have. If you're on a trailer for, on a show promotion trailer for 6 weeks, you're getting paid a lot more than if you have, a minute of your song used in that show. So, sync licensing depends on usage and all of those types of things. Hopefully that helps. Let's see. I'm going to get back to the mix bus. I got 10 minutes to go. Let's... So if you know me, next one is probably going to be Black Box HG2. Eric Racy cooked that bad boy up. Now I'm going to get... See, I had my master up to +12 so that you guys could hear it, but I'm going to back that back down so that I have room on my mix bus. Oh, I'm going to lock in these kicks now that I have this going, the lang going. Man, wait till you hear this freaking lang. So I've got all of the kicks combined to aux 8, and then I've got the lang EQ across aux 8, and just listen to the way it brings out the weight and the snap of these kicks. If you guys can mute my front mic. Really nice. I'll play you with and without it. If you guys can mute the front mic.
Love everywhere and our hearts are on fire.
Then I'm just backing it off a little bit into the mix because I want that weight, but now it's just poking out front a little bit too much. So I'll back the kick off. And now I feel like there was... I'm going to add black box to the mix bus. Typically, I start listening to two main different presets and see if I like either of them as a start, which is Rock Anarchy and Snare-tacular. Snare-tacular tends to be kind of mid-forward, and Rock Anarchy tends to be a little bit scooped and upper and hyped. So let's listen to Rock Anarchy. I think that's going to be the one. And usually after that, I go to a control compression with the UAD Manley Varimu. And I have my own setting KL mix bus. That's the only one you are ever going to see on my Varimu. This is a one-trick pony for me, but it is the best trick on planet Earth. You know, whatever they call glue with compression, this is the glue. And what I find with this is I tend to try and set it so that if I'm A-Bing or if I'm bypassing, listening in and out at the loudest sections of the mix, I don't hear this working at all. It's just everything's loud. Yeah, sure, it's getting compressed a lot, but it's basically like can't really hear any difference. But when the quiet sections are in the mix, when you go to the rough quiet sections are super quiet, and this one pulls them up. So what it basically does is it de facto really reduces your dynamic range, but in a super musical way. It's the best way I can describe it. I don't use it as a finisher. It's not a brick wall. It is a musical compressor, and I use it with the slowest attack, slowest release, most threshold I can get, and most input I can get. So basically I'm saturating the simulated input transformers is what I'm doing with this thing. I have a real Varimu. I do the exact same thing. That's how I stumbled across these crazy ass settings. I jack up the headroom knob to 3 p.m. That makes a big difference because you can't drive the compression as hard when it's not up there. And then I bypass high chain, side chain filter so that the compressor ignores and does not react to the low frequency. It's still there, but the compressor doesn't react to it. And then usually I work with it independent, left-right independent. I don't really have a preference between linking or working independent, but for me, I tend to always work independent, and it always sounds great to me, so I don't know why I would do anything else. Okay, so and the way that I use the Varimu is that's my setting. I adjust the output of the black box until the meters of the Manley are sitting between about 6 and 8 dB of reduction. And the slowest release is like a 5 or second release, so it's really slow. Listen. So that's nice on the loud sections, but where it really shines is these quieter sections.
Voices calling. Now we all join hands and the sky is ablaze. Treble and bass electrify.
it just makes all of the dynamic range of the music much closer to each other, so it still sounds sonically like there's a lot of dynamics in it because the arrangements are built well, and it goes from like an open stripped down arrangement to a more dense arrangement, so you're getting the dynamics through how you're building the arrangement, not how you're mixing it. You're reducing the dynamics greatly so that the verse and the intro are almost as loud as the chorus, but the chorus just has more instrumentation, so it just tends to feel and sound bigger. If that makes sense. Next thing, I'm running out of time here. Did I forget to do anything tonight? I think I got to everything. If you won something tonight, we will be reaching out to you and getting you your prize. Thank you again to DJ Swivel and Swivel Audio for hooking us up 6 plugins tonight, one of everything that they have. Oh, that's so freaking cool, dude. Thank you very much. And, dude, I fucking love your plugin. I use his shit so much. The Noctonal is really cool, how you can pick the key of the song or the individual notes on the piano, and you can emphasize those EQ ranges, which I have found to be a really musical equalizer sometimes. You get incredible results. And, like, Click Boom is like instant kick drum. All right, back to the mix bus. Now I have compressed it, so now it's under control. Now I'm going to add some equalization and see if I can just shape it in some interesting way. If you know me, my go-to is Pultec Pro Legacy. I just love this thing. When people talk about 3-dimensional equalization, I usually think they're completely full of shit until I listen to this thing. And it just pulls different things in and out of your mix that you just did not know were there. Especially the top band, the MEQ5. I really like the way that it has a fairly narrow band to it, whereas the EQP1A has much broader, like low-high shelving. But they're really, really broad and spread out, goes way into the mid-range. But these, listen to what, you just watch me work, and you'll hear and see. When I'll super overemphasize some of the EQ bands so that you can hear in each different musical EQ band, different musical elements of the song come out. So you get to decide as a mixer, like, what instrumentation do I want to emphasize right now? What's really working? Like, ooh, I didn't even know that I could bring that out that way. You'll just watch.
Voices calling. Now we all join hands.
Here's a cheat code with the EQP1A portion of it. Even at 60 hertz on the low frequency, that's a shelf, and it goes way into the lower mid-range. So what it ends up doing is it ends up warming up your entire mix, and it just makes your entire mix sound a little bit bigger, just like the Lang PEQ2 does on individual sources. And so listen to like the fatness of the vocal when I turn this on, and listen to the non-bass instruments and how much bigger and warmer they get when the low end activates. It's like the mix got clearer by adding low end. It's kind of a neat little trick. And same thing with the high end. I usually just kind of search for which band it feels most musical to me, if any of them, and then I'll kind of give that a boost.
Love everywhere.
I mean, in 2 minutes of EQing, the mix just comes so much more to life. It's crazy. Like, you think you're at the finish line, and then you just spend a little bit of time EQing, and you're like, oh, my mix can sound like that. Okay. Next, I'm gonna give it just a little bit more control with Master Desk. Sometimes I use this, sometimes I don't, and I also stereo enhance with Master Desk. I usually don't go past 12 on the stereo enhance. I really like the turbo limiter on this, so I tend to back the output trim off 1 dB and then hit turbo limiter, and it just gives it this like solidity and punch that I really like. Listen to it. Now, I always use the Slate FGX2 only as a meter. It's a good finisher. I'm not hating on it at all as a finisher, but typically I just use it as an RMS meter because I trust it and it works in bypass. So my final RMS, the way I set my final RMS, I try and find the loudest section of the song, and then I want my RMS sitting in the like -9 to -7 range at the loudest section of the song. Let me show you how I do it. So right now, I'm at -1s with the Master Desk, so I think I'm pushing Master Desk too hard. I like how it's sounding, but I think I'm going to back off the Varimu a little bit, so I give myself just... Okay, I'm right about in the ballpark of where I need to be. Now I'm just going to finish with...
Better maker?
Oh, yes. Mazzy's trying to get in. Hang on. Hey, come on, babe. Hi. You saying goodbye to everybody? Yeah, Mazzy's like, I missed you all. Oh, Mazzy's back from mixing night. I'm not going to finish with Better Maker just because it's past 10, and I don't have that under my hands as much as I would like to. So, and this just needs like a real simple finish. Everything else is already sounding nearly perfect. Like when I use the Better Maker, especially the Better Maker 2, I use the tone shaping on it a lot. And that's really why I would like, it gets things really loud and keeps things musical. But the real tone shaping abilities while you're pushing is what I really like most about the Better Maker. Let's see. All right, let's see what L2 does. I just need to finish that last 1 dB push, and that's it. Dither to 24-bit. Oversampling, I always finish at 32-bit, but it might choke the system right now, so I'm just going to go to 2x. Output, I always set an output ceiling of 0.1 dB. 0.1 dB output ceiling. That just ensures that you're not going to distort when it hits streaming services and things like that. These definitely change the sound of the mix slightly, so typically I would spend a little bit of time and go through these and just listen to what each one of them is doing. Typically my favorites are transparent and all around. So I'm just going to go with all around right here and push it a little bit and finish it up. And so as I push this, I'm just looking for that finished RMS to be at like -8s, and so let's see where we're at the loudest section of the mix. So this is interesting for you mixer nerds. I'm only increasing 1 dB of peak, but probably 3 dB of RMS. So I'm shaving off peaks so that I can push all of the music up louder. That's how that works. You know, I almost forgot. I wanted to give a big shout out to Riley Herman. I'm going to be working with her soon, and super excited about that. Looking forward, Riley. And let's see. This is pretty much finished on the mix bus. Let me see if. I need to mention song submissions. Have you guys been showing the banner for song submissions? Hopefully so.
We are now.
Oh, okay. We are on the hunt for sessions to use live during mixing nights. Like last month, I mixed a Colin Holbrook viewer submitted song called Happy Head. That was a brilliant song. I really loved that, and then ended up finishing the mix with him after the fact. We're looking for material to use on mixing night. So if you think you got it, follow the instructions and get it to us and let us check it out. And if I feel like it's, you know, I've got to find material that I feel like is right, the right cross section between being able to teach something that levels you guys up and is a song that people are going to be, you know, captivated by and want to listen to and want me to work on. And so, but, you know, they're out there. So if you got them, send them. Oh, this is a great question. Blue Jay Freeze asks, hey Ken, if you start mixing with everything real low and your speaker's up high and then balance everything and it's still hitting like -15 on the mix bus, which that's the point, what's your go-to way to raise everything? I just showed you. I stair step it. I start with the black box, that gives it some level, and then I level it out and turn it up with the Varimu, and then EQ is gonna just add a little bit more level naturally, and then the you know, the Master Desk, and then the Pro L2 or the Natural Audio or something like that to do the final finish. So, but if you don't leave yourself all of that headroom and you start running out, then all of a sudden every choice you make is a sacrifice. So you want to leave a bunch of headroom on your mix until you're ready to start working your mix bus, because you see with me, like my mix bus shapes my mix a lot. If you just undo my mix bus, it's going to be a slightly different mix. It's not going to really be the same thing. Other people work differently. Other people, like, the mix bus doesn't change much at all. So you pick your style. Whatever works for you is fine with me. I think we're wrapping it up. Do I need to shout out anything else for the show tonight? Oh, if you're still here, we are at NAMM in the Metric Halo booth. Come say hello if you're healthy. And on Thursday, January 2nd in Anaheim at the Dave & Buster's, we're just going to have a little informal, you know, I'm going to be there playing games. If you want to be there playing games too, then we could all be there playing games together. And anybody who thinks that they can take me at hoops, it's on. So on. Except maybe Keith Roth's. I've seen him shoot. He can probably destroy me. But almost anybody else. And I want to find out with Keith. So, all right. Thank you again for another great show. Thank you, Mazzy Lewis, for another great security detail for the show. And we will see you back here in February. Paul Hinton, I haven't seen his name on tonight. Thanks for tuning in, Paul. Josh Gannett, hey, dude. We got some late arrivals. Daniel Moskovich. Good to see everybody pulling in at the last minute. We are packing it in, but we've had quite the successful night at Mixing Night. At least I feel like it went well. Happy New Year. My resolutions, stay as healthy as I can. I've been battling a wicked autoimmune disease, and I am so much better than I was 5 years ago, and I want to keep that upward improvement. But it is a daily battle and a daily struggle. And if you have autoimmunity, know that you have a partner in crime over here, and we are fighting the good fight together. And I will see you in February for the next mixing night. Until then, thank you very much for tuning in, and take care.